Can you build for the same price per square foot all over the country? What is the difference between building for $135 a square foot or building for $200+ per square foot? And are there variables within different market sectors or within the nation that are going to depict this? Because I always get people that come in and ask me, they're like, Jerome, or they'll actually not ask me, but they'll tell me, they'll comment, they'll be like, Jerome, there's no way you can build for $150 a square foot. There's no way you can do this. I'm sitting back, scratching my head going, and damn, how the hell did we just finish building this product that we have every single transaction documented? How do we do this if I can't? So let's get some clarity behind this, because there's different market sectors, obviously, and what depicts the difference between price per square foot and how that price affects market sectors, okay? So let's talk about this real quick. One of the biggest things is understanding where you are and what your expenses are. Now, let's break this down. Cost of materials nationwide are all the same. Where cost of materials goes up is where middleman markup goes up. So when you go in and you think about, oh, I'm going to build in Hawaii or Puerto Rico or overseas, anywhere overseas that it takes freight, oh, the cost of materials are going to go up exponentially. But it doesn't cost any less or any more to ship to California as it does to ship to Arizona. It doesn't cost any more to ship to Washington State than it does to ship to Boise, Idaho. It doesn't cost any more to run freight in semi-trucks to Miami than it does Orlando. But why is it that people sit back and go, it costs way more to build over here than it does to build in XYZ markets? Now, 85% of the United States is going to function under almost identical circumstances, with the exception of 15% of the markets that are coastal and more expensive with labor. Now, follow me here, because the cost of materials are the same. If you go into a Home Depot over in Anaheim, California, or Beverly Hills, California, and you go into Home Depot over in Phoenix, New Mexico, Utah, anywhere, the cost of a 2x4 is within margins of cents of each other, right? So it's going to be very, very similar. Now, cost of fuel is a little bit more in California in some states. So you're going to have slightly more freight costs, but the cost of materials is like so marginal, that's not going to affect the overall cost to build more than like $1 a square foot, because we're talking about marginal variances, if any at all, Okay, now, where is the cost variance? The cost variance is in the labor. The labor is what depicts the difference on the price per square foot. So how you source your labor is very, very, very important. Now, we're going to talk about price per square foot and what you need to build and how you're going to build it in different market sectors and different price points of market sectors. And so understand that when we go in and we talk about these market sectors, what is it that determines the difference in that variance? It's labor. And so I always tell people, if you can't get the price per square foot that you want, then you have to hit a different market sector. You have to go in and adjust accordingly so that way economically you can hit the nail on the head in regards to what your overall expense is going to be. But you got to shop it, right? So for sake of example, when I build over in Kirkland, Washington is, oh my goodness, it's one of the most expensive, most affluent areas across the country. The average median wage is $180,000, competing against the nation's median wage at $80,000. So it's over 120% in excess of what the average median income is across the United States. Yet it only cost me about an extra $40 a square foot to build in that market. And really, it really only cost me closer to about $35 a square foot more to build in that market. And here's how I source my labor. I go into median markets within an hour of my market. So if I go into, let's say, Tacoma or Olympia, or I go into one of these market sectors like in Redmond, I'm not going to source my labor out of Bellevue, Kirkland, or right there in downtown Seattle. Why? Because the cost of living is so exponentially higher. It's going to cost me more if I seek out those companies. So I go and I source my labor in average median markets right around me to control the labor cost. Now, let's talk about the price per square foot as it sits in the actual asset itself, because that is really where the true variance of price per square foot goes. Like, how do I go in and I go to markets like Greensboro, Arkansas, and I get guys that are part of our community that are building for $90 a square foot. I myself am sitting back going, how in the world are you building for $90 a square foot? Now, the average out there is $110, but they start to self-perform, meaning they hire their own employees, cutting out the profitability of the company, hence putting downward pressure on the overall cost and actually reducing the overall price per square foot. Now, if you're subbing everything out, which I do, and I appreciate, because I don't want to have to carry that workman's comp, the labor, and all the headaches of dealing with employees, because I've done that and I've worn that hat for many, many years. I'm just going to simply go in and I'm going to sub this stuff out to people, and I'm okay paying $110 a square foot because I'm selling a product that's selling for over $250 to $275 a square foot. Now, I still don't want want to go in and make that money. I know there are better markets out there, but if you're going to subject yourself to building on the lower median and you're building stuff that's under $500,000, you're going to have to be within $90 to $135 a square foot build cost. Because if you don't, you're not going to make any profit. Now, you're going to be closer to 110 to 135 a square foot in that market sector unless you self-perform. Now, if you self-perform, you hire your own employees, pour your own concrete, do your own stucco, your own drywall, your own tractor work, and own the equipment, which there's an expense to ownership of that as well. So I don't look at it as a true $90 a square foot because I know the reality of having to service the equipment, the employees, the 941s, and the back end. Now, it looks pretty on the front end, but let's call it $110 a square foot because I know that's the reality of where the market, even in the most affordable areas to build and the most affordable product to build, is going to cost about $110 a square foot to $135 on anything $500,000 or lower. If you want to learn the exact strategy of how to buy the right piece of land in the right area to build a house, if you want to learn the exact strategy that I've been utilizing for almost 3 decades, then text me the word land at 505-560-0520. Let's go ground up. Let's buy land, let's build houses, and let's start right now. Now, once you go over $500,000 to about $650,000, your price per square foot is going to go from $135 to $145 a square foot build cost, okay? Now, and I'd even say as high as $150. So $135 to $150 a square foot build cost. Now, once we get in excess of that $650,000 mark, here's what's going on. Amenities change, trim out items change, quality of what you build changes, and so your overall expenses goes up as well. It doesn't have to do anything with the market and labor and anything else. Now, a small margin of that might be true in like California, in some of the more expensive areas, and right down in the heart of Salt Lake City, some areas in Nevada, and actually in Las Vegas, very expensive, labor's more expensive for sure, and places like Washington State, places like in Seattle, Washington, places in Oregon right next door. Goodness gracious, I'm sitting back drawing blanks on you guys here. Right in Oregon, and some of these areas that are just the cost of living is more expensive because of the affluency, right? Because of the affluency. And I always tell people, be careful what you scold because where price per square foot costs more to build and the land costs more, your profitability is greater, so you're going to actually make more money. So don't be afraid of these markets. Don't be afraid to pay more for your land. Just know that if you're paying more for your land in an affluent market and your price per square foot is higher to build, your resale price per square foot is also higher as well. Typically adding on and padding about a 10 to 30% increase in your overall return on your build, which is absolutely unbelievable, okay? Now, let's go back. Now, once we get over that $750,000 to $800,000 mark, our price per square foot is going to be between $150 and $165 a square foot, okay? Those are real numbers. Now, that's the market sector that we build in, and that goes all the way up to $1 million. All the way up to $1 million because the trim items are the same between a $750,000 house and a $1 million home. We stay just under the $1 million threshold of $999,000. Now, there might be some variances, maybe a little bit of recessed lighting in there that we wouldn't otherwise have in a $750,000 home, maybe a little bit nicer door, so forth and so on. But the overall variance on the price per square foot is going to be between $150 and $165 a square foot. That's going to be depicted on your actual labor cost and the trim amenities that you're putting in there. Now, once we get over $1 million and we go all the way to $2 million, between $1 million, $2 million, your price per square foot on what you're building is going to be between that $165 a square foot and that $200 a square foot because we now are increasing the overall amenities. Now, if you go into a market that has higher labor, obviously you're going to pay a little tiny bit more, but your profitability is going to be greater because now these homes are selling for an excess of $400 a square foot. And if they're not, you're just building a little bit bigger home and you're selling it even in the $300 per square foot, you're still making money. And it's still very affluent money. So understand that between that $1 million and $2 million mark, between $165 and between $200 a square foot, and I would even say $165 to $185 a square foot, provided you're not hiring a general contractor. You hire a general contractor, you get over that $2 million mark, now you're going to start hitting about $200 a square foot. Now, you really don't hit that $200 a square foot in surplus of that until you go over the $2 million mark, because now you're building luxury properties. And these luxury properties have just crazy amenities in them. They have landscaping that lower end builds don't have. When I say lower end, that's not a lower end build because it's still a very attractive build with landscaping, but now you're including swimming pools. Now you're including millennial pools. Now you're including grass and landscape and sprinklers and all these amenities within the exterior and also the interior. You're doing full pavers and these big giant driveways that you wouldn't otherwise have in some of the more cost-effective builds because now you're building more of an estate property. You're building something that has all glassed walls and rails and stuff like that inside of it. And so you're putting in wine cellars and you're putting in full gymnasiums or basketball courts and stuff like this that add to the overall price per square foot. So you have to understand that the amenities themselves are the variance on the overall cost to build as you scale in excess of a few $1,000,000, right? So you're in excess of 1.5, then it goes up at $2 million, then you get that $2 million mark, and it just continues to go up exponentially. And now sky's the limit once you hit over $200 a square foot because amenities are the real variable that change the cost per square foot. Now, look, let me just simplify this real quick for you, real quick, in a real quick rendition. Anything under $500,000, don't build over $135 a square foot build cost. If you go over that $500,000 mark all the way up to about $750, make sure that you stay under $155 a square foot. $150 or less, even better. If you go over that $750,000 mark and hit all the way to $1,000,000, stay under the $165 price per square foot to build. And don't stop shopping your subcontractors until you get there. Now, once you get over that $1 million mark, make sure that you stay under $185 a square foot unless you hire a general contractor, okay? You hire a general contractor, you can go up to $200 a square foot, but it is going to take a little bit of your profitability away, but that's okay because we get it done, right? And for the ease of convenience, like for me, I have bandwidth. And for those of you guys that don't have lending power because you don't have any experience, hire a general contractor, pay them because it's a small, minute amount of money in the overall scheme of profitability on these single family builds in the upper middle class. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that the safest, quickest resale values sit between $700,000 and $2 million. And I'll even say, $700,000 to 1.5 is like the sweet spot because that's where profitability really gets in your pocketbook. That's where the equity stack for banks actually sits at its most affluent, and it's the safest to the lenders. And so this is where market sectors really give back to you, the borrower, and you, the builder. For more content just like this, click and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you give me some love and pound that thumbs up button. Comment down below your thoughts, your questions, and let me know what else you want me to record for you. And until next time, God bless and go out and compound your success.